Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Course in Miracles 365 Awakening to Love. I'm your host, Tomas Garza, and thank you for joining me here today. I know that you're joining me from many different places here in the world, and whether you're catching this show live here on Enlightened World Network or on the replay, we would love to hear from you. So give us a shout out here in the comments. Let us know where you're joining us from. And also, if you have any questions or comments related to today's idea that we're going to cover on the show, or spirituality in general, there is something in this live stream for every single living, breathing person on this planet. Sounds like a big statement, right? But it's true, because we're talking about universal spirituality here. A Course in Miracles is a presentation of universal spirituality. It is not designed to replace any tradition that you currently practice, which is good. Yeah, because we don't need that kind of energy out there in the world. There's already enough of it as there is, right? It's designed to help you in your practice, on your walk, whatever you want to call your own spiritual journey. So, whether you are following along in the workbook for students or not, there is still something here for you. And you're more than welcome to tune in and comment and leave questions. I'm here to be a resource for you. So please feel welcome to do that. And if you're catching the replay, well, feel welcome to do that too, because I do check the comment thread throughout the day. So I usually am live here in the morning at my local time, which is in Arizona in the United States. So it's the same time right now as Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle. So it's Mountain Standard Pacific Daylight Time here. And I usually go live in the morning. So wherever you're tuning in from, if you're catching the replay, I know a number of you are here from Europe and it's much later in the day or the evening. So good evening to all of you. And thank you for joining me. So I'm going to talk about something today that is near and dear to my own heart and my own spiritual practice. In fact, it's one of the centerpieces of my own life, and that is meditation. It's meditation practice. Now, you may have one, you may have had one for a number of years, and I'm going to talk about it today in the context of the workbook for students in A Course in Miracles. Specifically, we've arrived at lesson 106 today. Let me be still and listen to the truth. Yeah, let me be still and listen to the truth. If you do nothing else today, keep this simple statement in mind, and when you remember it, bring your mind back to it. Recite it either out loud or in your own mind. Let me be still and listen to the truth. There's a lot in that. We cannot hear the truth when we're running around frantic. If you're a hot mess, if you're a disaster, you could use worse terminology, more profane terminology than that. If you're carried away, if you're distracted, then it is not possible to hear the truth. It's not. We may like to deceive ourselves and delude ourselves in the world into thinking that we've got it all covered. Yeah, I got this. I got this made. Meanwhile, we pick up these little devices and we assume what I like to call the 21st century posture, where we're staring at them like this, scrolling. Some of the information's valuable, some of it's uplifting, a lot of it's not. You know the difference between the two. When you're distracted, when you're carried away, you cannot hear the voice for truth, the capital V. That's the Holy Spirit in the thought system of A Course in Miracles, the voice for God. And we're invited to listen to this voice. That is what spiritual practice is all about. We are able to hear it in silence, in calm, quiet. Why in quiet? Because this voice does not compete with all the drama, with all our psychodrama and all of the junk that we occupy ourselves with in the world. The ego's voice takes many forms. It's our social media feed, it's the news, it's our light bill. It takes many different forms. And as long as we're carried away in that, the Holy Spirit simply lets us be carried away in that and calls to us gently, not in an overpowering or threatening manner, because we would simply resist that, correct? But gently inviting us to be still and listen to the truth. The truth doesn't need to compete with all our psychodrama. Our psychodrama is not an opponent. So if you're doing the verbal math here, which I strongly encourage you to do, you have no opponent. How about that? You have no opponent. Who you are cannot be opposed. Why? Because it's all that is. You do not have an opponent. You could choose to make somebody your opponent. You could choose to make yourself your opponent. You could choose to make an entire group of people, like a political party or a system of government, your opponent. You do not have an opponent. Part of this is dropping that resistance. You do that in peace and quiet and total stillness. That is where you will hear the voice for God, the voice of the Holy Spirit. So, why is that so important? Well, it's pretty clear that we run around in the world completely distracted, isn't it? I mean, we don't need advanced degrees to tell us that. We don't have to have studied a particular tradition for X number of years in order to do that. Our common sense tells us that we're running around distracted. How's that working out for you? Yeah, are you able to hear the truth when you're frantic? I mean, you might say, yeah, I am, but it's not possible. It's not possible. Why? You're hearing the voice for the ego instead of the voice for God. We have one choice, love or fear. God or the ego. That's the choice that we have and get to, not have to, but get to make in the present moment. This is so uplifting. It's so empowering and so beautiful. My wish for you is that you feel your own power and assume it and take it for yourself, because that is what it is there for. Now, this is not power over other people. It's not necessarily economic power. It's not authority over people. It's speaking with the ultimate authority, showing up as the ultimate authority, not with, but as. Yeah? You know what I'm talking about here. You listen and you hear this in silence. Let me be still and listen to the truth. We then receive the truth in silence where we can hear it so that we can go forth and extend that and give that to other people joyfully, happily, fulfilling our purpose and our role on this planet. Takes different forms for different people, obviously. Right? There are many different nations in the world. There are many different groups of people with many different cultures and habits. So how this plays out is going to depend on the individual. It takes many forms. It's all the same lesson, love. Extend love receive it so that you can joyously give it. This is what we do today. How do we achieve this stillness? Well, I talked at the beginning of this broadcast about the practice of meditation. So I am a meditation instructor, and I've had a personal meditation practice for about 36 years, more or less. It started in the most unlikely of places. As a sophomore in high school, I had a geometry teacher, sophomore in high school, geometry, required class, something we've all been through, right? Yeah. I had a teacher that would have us meditate at the beginning of class every day for a few minutes. And at first I thought, why are we doing this? And naturally, we were sophomores in high school, right? 15, 16 years of age. There were plenty of kids that giggled and threw spitwads and rolled their eyes and doodled on the desk, carved the desk, things that kids do in high school as sophomores in high school, like not all together, right? On your way to adulthood, but definitely not there yet. Anyway, he would have us meditate for a few minutes at the beginning of every class. And to my really pleasant surprise, I really resonated with that. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed how it made me feel. I enjoyed the sense of calm that would always come over me, even after just a couple of minutes. And I decided to pursue that further. So fast forward 36 years, and here I am sharing with you my own experience and inviting and encouraging you to practice. This idea is profound. Let me be still and listen to the truth. In chill calmness, you hear the truth. You know that's true. You know that's true. So what does this look like if you are running around frantic, if your life is not where you would have it be, if it's not what you'd like, if your circumstances, right, your home life, job, career, relationship, your health, if things are not the way you would like them to be, what happens is we do this one moment at a time. Nobody, and I am certainly not saying that you have to sit down for an hour-long meditation or 2 hours or 3. A successful, wonderful, beneficial meditation can be as short as one full breath. Do you have time for the next breath? I hope the answer may be yes, you do. What you do, if this is all that you know or feel that you have time for, is you take in one inhale breath, and helps to close your eyes, though it's actually not required. And just feel the breath coming into your body. Feel all the sensations and just place your awareness, your attention on that. And then as you exhale, do the same thing. You could choose to pay attention then to the next breath and the next. That constitutes meditation, a successful meditation. So in the context of lesson 106 in the workbook, you can simply recite what's written here on these pages or online if you don't have the book. Anyone can Google it. In italics, it reads, "I will be still and listen to the truth." What does it mean to give and to receive? We open ourselves in silence to hearing the answer. Yeah. We're asking, guess what happens? The answer comes. Ask and it is given. Right? Always. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to hear a man's voice or a woman's voice audibly in your mind. This could come in that form. The answer could come in something that you hear someone else say after you have the meditation or the practice period. It could come in the form of a feeling or a sound, a sensation, something that reminds you of the truth of who you are. You could hear something on the radio. You could see something or read something on social media or in the news that will remind you and serve as the answer. What does it mean to give and to receive? Ask the question. You'll get the answer. Also in italics, there's a passage that's well worth reciting. Let me be still and listen to the truth. I am the messenger of God today. My voice is his to give what I receive. Okay. That is, to me, the highlight reel of lesson 106 here in the workbook. In summary, if we're running around frantic, we can't hear the voice for truth. That doesn't compete with the drone of the ego, with the din and the shouts and the screeches and the mad shrieks of the ego. Because they're insane. All of the monkey mind drama that comes at us is nothing. It's really meaningless. So in stillness and in silence, we hear the voice for God. Guess what? It's our voice. Our will and God's will are exactly the same thing. They're one. There is no separation of any kind. I could say that every day. Well, and frankly, I have on many occasions. There is no separation at all of any kind. We are in a beautiful process, can be stressful and annoying sometimes if we allow that to happen. We're in a beautiful process of awakening to love, to the truth of who we really are. Hence the title, Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love. We are awakening to love. We have always been love, and we're peeling away all of the drama, all of the layers, breaking through the clouds, so to speak, so that we can have this constant experience ourselves and share that, extend that to everyone in the world. All of these ideas in the workbook are both beautiful and profound, and yeah, they challenge us. All of our psychodrama comes up. That's why forgiveness is emphasized. That's why practice periods are emphasized in A Course in Miracles, especially in the workbook. Gives us something to do and to practice, because number one, we have to be aware that this is coming up, recognize it, rather than fight it, let it be. Life is a living, breathing, waking meditation. I don't know if you've ever considered it that way. I didn't consider it that way for years and years. I thought meditation was something that one did in a formalized setting, because I often practiced in that way. But in truth, you really do take it off the mat, off the cushion, so to speak, because it is all of life. Let these beautiful ideas in the workbook serve as the object of a meditation. Let me be still and listen to the truth. Get carried away? So be it. We all do. Bring your mind back to it. You're not wrong for getting carried away. None of us is. It just happens. So we bring our awareness back to the object of meditation in stillness. It's where you hear the truth. So I want to check in here and let's see who's joining us live here. This is always fun for me to be able to do a couple of minutes here of live interaction. So thank you all for tuning in. And I'm going to bring this stream up right here. Now I'm scrolling, scrolling to reach all of you here. And hello, thank you all for joining me here. If you have comments or questions, please leave them right here in the comment thread. And I will be back here on Enlightened World Network on Monday with a special focus of the day. On Mondays, I'm focusing on a really, really important aspect of life and relating it to the study and practice of A Course in Miracles. So thank you all for tuning in here today, and I will see you again very soon. Thank you for joining me.